Did you have the right drawing? Did you have this right drawing there? The drawing is very. I have a rocket. It's never change dz and then you did not get the same answer.
No, I got 6.
Did you understand it? Okay, Liam, which part you don't understand?
We use cosine or tangent.
Okay, so that we're gonna see how. And then um, so they are asking for d theta dt. So they are asking for d theta dt. So obviously use a constant. Is from the camera to the launch pad is the constant. That can never change. Got it? So therefore use tangent. Now some people neither. Okay. Now some people neither. Okay. The problem neither is he didn't write down theta, d theta dt, or something like that. Or if you take a derivative like that, or if you take a derivative of secant, it would be secant theta cotangent. Secant theta tangent of secant would be secant theta cotangent. Secant theta tangent theta and d theta dt. You have to write that out. You cannot have a secant without argument, and that's my main problem I see. But it seems like you approach it the same way. The only way that when you do that is more risky. Why you secant? If you secant, then the problem is you depend on dz dt. And if your dz dt is wrong, I choose constant on the bottom, because when how come you didn't use 3,000 over 5,000? It doesn't matter. I can simplify that 3,000 and 5,000 to get 3 over 5 squared, and then you will eventually get 12 over 125 radian per second. Some people say, I think Baden come and ask me, says, so it's about 5 degrees every second. Huh? Because 12 over 125 is roughly 110. Let's think about 12 over 120 is 110. Yeah.
Can we use instead, or would you prefer to use fraction?
I definitely like fraction because most answer choice on AP exam are fractions. With a related question, at least is all fraction. Neither the thing is, fraction is much better. I don't know if you've seen proof of fraction, right? And then if you do, you adding this part is 0. Irrational in this case is approximation. So it's not any question. No, simplify by 100, and that's gonna be z, right? So if you take a derivative, it's gonna be secant theta 10 theta d theta dt is times dz dt, which is 640, times by cosine theta, which is 4. That must be what you got.
Could we plug it in just for the one on the bottom? We don't plug it in purposely on top.
Is constantly changing. 2 birds, 1 stone. The rest of them is a multiple practice of different kind of problem. Tomorrow we'll get a chance to go over that. If you hold a fresh light for me.
Hold it. We're doing funny.
But we're gonna look at this question. What I want. But we're gonna look at this question. What I want you need to do, I need to picture, trying to think about relationship. Try to think about what is question A and question B is asking. Trying to think about what kind of A and question B is asking. Trying to think about what kind of your feet and I don't want you to do a problem because more likely you don't know how to start, but I also want you to draw out a picture and think about what the problem's asking to plan out what do you think is the idea difference between part A and part B. That's a lot of difference between part A and part B. That's a lot of people has wondering like what's so are you understanding the problem? Most of the time is people don't understand the problem, don't understand the things. When they do the math, so I need two volunteers. One is a person holding the light, and one is a person that holding the iPad. iPad is gonna be the. You want to be the camera person? Gonna as well just end the camera because you can hold my iPad without dropping it, right? As well just end the camera because you can hold my iPad without dropping it, right? Come on. No, you gotta come here. The wall. Oh my goodness. Right? Oh my goodness. Right? So you got see the shadow, right? Because everybody is gonna be discussing when you when everybody is gonna be discussing when you when I have something. So here's what I want to when I have something. So here's what I want to say is.
Wait, do you mean to take a bit?
Say is.
Wait, do you mean to take a bit?
So what happened is this person. So what happened is this person that's me is walking toward person that's me is walking toward post it. There are two questions. Ow. Post it. There are two questions. Ow. Now what's the difference between the tip it's tip it's asking how fast if you think asking how fast if you think you know the answer, Richard. I can see you. You know the answer, Richard. I can see you, I don't know. It's okay. You got it wrong. We're all gonna laugh at you. For my audience, which is like two people, I don't know. Those two people will make fun of you. But
So if I imagine it,
make fun of you. But
so if I imagine it like a triangle, right, and the 6 foot person, I feel like a triangle, right, and the 6 foot person, I feel
with the growth of the shadow,
it's
the growth of the shadow.
it's the distance between the person and the shadow is
Different type of people. People. To represent. Yes. To represent. Yes. Maybe think of the shadows X. Ex dt. She have different arrangement. She said this one is the X. She says this one is the Y, right? So is that if the person's walking, so if the person's walking 5 feet per second, so if the person's walking 5 feet per second, is that a dx dt or dy dt?
dy dt.
Dx dt, both raise your hand.
I think you said G what?
So the man is walking 5 feet per second. Slightly more. How many people don't know? What you would raise what? 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 Okay, how about you guys convince each other? The man's walking this way for 5 feet per second. That's the
You're telling me the more the man moves
The Y from here to here.
Green? Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great. Take a photo. Okay, I'll hold it for you. I'll let you take a break.
Thank you so much.
No, maybe it's not.
Actually, started hurting. I was like,
Do you play sports?
yeah, I play lacrosse.
And you cannot hold a phone.
It's okay. You play softball.
You play softball.
I'm left arm is also weak. Okay.
All right, so that's a good question, right? So you should always ask those questions. So how many people convince each other says, now let's vote. It's both.
Thank you so much.
Because you see here, it's gonna grow.
Mr. Ye, you're like kind of blocking.
What?
You're like kind of blocking it.
How am I like blocking?
The viewers can't see.
I'm sorry. With my two viewers, I'm saying hi.
Hi, viewers.
Hi, future me.
Hi. It's both. I'll hold the
Oh.
ping pong player and you can't hold it up.
And then you
Wow, right?
My weakness, right?
Right.
My vulnerability. Okay. So yeah, so those are the questions you should ask. So do you guys figure out that dx dt or dy dt? So the answer is dx dt, the dy dt. How fast the y is changing.
I only said
That's how fast the y is changing. Because y is going this way.
I only said if I was.
Yeah, it's 5 feet per second. So the y is changing, not an x. X is how fast the shadow is changing. So it has difference. All right, thank you guys.
And then like,
I didn't know what this is. I'm coming for my.
Okay.
You got sun?
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to be?
Who gets it?
So what I meant, good picture, because that's half the problem, believe it or not. Right, that's a fast, how fast, so this man is blue. And it's casting a shadow, right? So this is 15 feet. This is 6 feet. And this is 15 feet. Do you guys have this diagram drawn on your picture? Yeah. Okay. Now when this is 10 feet, but 10 feet is changing. So it's not constant. So actually that 10 might throw you off a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assign just like how I assigned before. So we assign this as x and okay. So if you realize that dy dt is how fast the man's walking, which is 5 feet per second. Is this okay? Is that tip of the shadow or is that tip of the shadow or just the shadow growth? Shadow growth, good. Now, what is the tip of the shadow then? Again, I'm going to ask what's the tip of the shadow? What is it?
X plus Y.
Who says that? Good job, Aspen. It's x plus y because you have to be related to the y as well as x. So we're going to call it z. Is that okay? Is that z equal to x plus y? And the things dx dt plus dy dt because it's relevant to how fast the man walking. The person walk faster, the shadow's gonna move faster as well. Does that make sense? Liam, you follow me? Is this okay? Now let's do a relationship. What will be a relationship here? What kind of relationship I'll be using? Yes.
Similar triangle identity.
Good. So can you tell me a relationship here?
Oh, it would be. Shoot. It would be 15 over equals 6 over x.
15 over what?
Z equals 6
Okay, that's fine. Equal to 6 over x. 15 over z. Like that is fine. So you can do it either way. But for me, you can do it z or you can do x plus y. I prefer to do x plus y, but end up by solving for b first rather than a. So, and I kind of do like x plus y because I like the idea of thinking of this, there are two individual parts. So I'm gonna do x plus y rather than z, but doesn't mean z is wrong. You gotta do z, you'll get the right answer as well. You can do cross multiply, so be 15x equal to 6x plus 6y. And you can get 9x equal to 6y, right? And I can do derivative with respect to time. So it'll be 9 dx dt equal to 6 dy dt. Now, which one do we have? We have dy dt. Okay, so that's 5. So it'll be 6 times 5 equal to 9 dx dt. And dx dt is equal to, I thought it's 5, right?
Yeah.
So that's equal to 30 over 9, which is equal to 10 over 3. Does that make sense? dx dt is how fast the shadow is growing. So we actually answer a question for part B is 10 over 3 because this part is going to be 10 over 3. That's how fast the shadow is growing. Is this okay or is this confusing?
Wait, hold on. How about the signal? How do you get that?
Okay, so I take the small triangle and I use this 6 over x, which is opposite over adjacent. I'll take the bigger triangle of 15 over x plus y. Yeah, just a ratio. And that's how you solve a SAT question as well. So people says calculus doesn't help SAT. It does. And also it teaches you how to think. Rather than just blindly solve a problem, teach you how to think. So that's the 10 over 3. Is that okay? Now, how fast the tip of shadow is moving? What is it?
25 over 3.
Why?
Plug it back.
Okay, so tip is like what Aspen says, is x plus y equal to z. So it'll be dx dt plus dy dt equal to dz dt, which is the tip. Is that okay? So dx dt, we have dx dt is 10 over 3. We have 5 equal to dz dt. So dz dt is equal to 25 over 3. And there we go, there's a problem. We answer both problems. So I like when you guys have discussion. Discussions actually lead to like, this is memory, this you can recall what happened, why we talk about all those things. Because a lot of time like people says, you cannot do things on your own. But when you're teaching another student or when you discuss things with another student, you kind of remember that on the test. You kind of will see that remember that's the last time I talked about this. So anything still confusing here? Subscribe, click like, and comment. Okay. Donate. If Bennett have money to donate.
I once, and then the school Wi-Fi is so annoying. It doesn't really let you.
Really?
Yeah. You can't access it without a VPN, and you also can't donate with a VPN. So you because that too, like.
Oh, because other people is hacking your account. Oh, that's funny. We're gonna talk about question 18.
16.
Okay, so some people's gonna ask me, what the heck is conic cone? Conic tank? Well, conic tank is just cone, like an ice cream cone. Like imagine you're little and when you're eating ice cream and the ice cream is melting from the bottom, it's dripping outside, and your parents get pissed out at you. And no, you always finish your ice cream before it melts. By the way, that's my excuse to eat all the ice cream in my freezer right now.
For math purposes.
No, for because hurricane, they come in with no power. So right before, my wife always like, dude, you're gonna have sugar problem if you eat so much sugar, and I'm like, and I purposely buy the whole case of a Haagen-Dazs right before the hurricane come in.
What?
Haagen-Dazs. Bennett, what kind of
It's real expensive. Like if you get it at university,
Bennett?
it's so overpriced.
Bennett? How you don't know Haagen-Dazs is?
I'll look it up. I might know.
What is it?
Brendan, are you even white?
I mean, yeah,
That's true.
very.
I'm just kidding.
Probably not.
I love ice
Oh,
cream.
right next. That's we just call them chocolate popsicles. That might be why.
No, they also have the one in the can too.
Well, 15 over X.
You know what?
All right.
Contact.
My personal favorite is the Fat Boy. You guys never have Fat Boys?
Oh, I love you.
Fat Boy is awesome.
Oh, I still do that. It's the squares of chocolate with ice cream in it.
So look at my beautiful drawing. So a conic tank is 10 feet across the top. So this is 10. It's 10 feet. And this is 12. And I here is 8 foot deep. So here to here is 8 feet. And it's gonna be this. Okay, so they say, well, what do they give it to you? They look at the question, what is 10 cubic feet per minute? The waters flow into the tank. Is the water flow into the tank is it positive or negative? Positive. Which kind of thing is it? Is that what?
dV over dt.
dV dt, good job. dV dt is equal to 10 cubic feet because this is 10 cubic feet per minute, sorry. So that will be the unit. You pay attention to the unit. Is this okay for everybody? Now, what will be the relationship here?
That's 16 over 10.
2/3.
What's the relationship here?
1 multiplied squared 8. That's 12 over 10.
What is it?
1/3 power squared over pi squared.
Good. Volume equal to 1/3 pi r squared h. So this is 1/3. It's 1/3 of a cone.
We said the same.
Okay, so we almost ran out of time, so I'm gonna speed run this. So the problem is if I take a derivative here, I'm gonna get a product rule, and product rule is bad because product rule is no good, no bueno. Why is no bueno? Because you have r squared h, and r squared h. If you take a derivative, you're gonna get dr dt, dh dt. But the problem is dr dt is not giving. What is giving? dv dt, but what is asking though? They're asking how fast the depth is changing, right? So dh dt is a question mark when the h is equal to 8. The problem is that, so you don't want to do that. You need to find a way to reduce the variable. How do you reduce variable? Using the same idea as before, similar triangle. If you look at sideways, did you see similar triangle right here? And do you see that if you have r over h, r is going to be 5 over 12, right? 5 over 12. This is always constantly changing, but on the top is 5. And now here it's going to give you 12r equal to 5h. And if you evaluate for r, is equal to 5h over 12. Now, why is that important? Because you just reduce 2 variables into 1. So you reduce that r squared to become 5h over 12 squared times h. Now I'm going to get v equal to 1/3 pi of 25h to the third over 144. I know that number looks kind of gross, but if you take a derivative, guess what? That h to the third cancel out, right? Does that make sense? that 3 and this 1/3, they will cancel out when you take a derivative. Does that make sense? So that's equal to 25 pi h squared over 144 times by dh dt, which is this is the unknown. What's dv dt again? 10 is equal to 25 pi times h, which is a squared over 144 dh dt. What is a squared? 64. So 64, 25 pi times 64 times 144. Do 64 and 144 have something in common? They both divisible by what? 4, but also bigger. Bigger. 12 bigger. No, not 12.
32.
16. Or 32. Wait, is 32 work?
Yeah, I think 32 works.
No, 32 doesn't work.
Come on, Bennett.
16 works though. So if I divisible by 16, that's going to be 4. This is going to be 9. So roughly, you multiply 9 on both sides. dh dt. And that's going to be 9 over 10 pi dh dt. And you can go back to watch the video if you don't understand. But yeah.
Miss Rhian, what would you do for a project car?
Huh?
What would you do for a stock?
On that first.
You know what it is? It's the full
Oh,
chocolate cubes.
yeah, they're good too. But I like Fat Boys.